afternoon, everyone. You know, when I put out videos mentioning that we're saved by grace through faith, challenging Messianic Judaism and Seventh-day Adventism and 119 Ministries to just quote the verse, it couldn't be done. I did it a couple times last week with a couple verses mentioning that just say it without adding law, and it couldn't be done. But my friends, I do believe that they believe by their explanation that they're saved by grace through faith. But I also believe that by the obsession that they have with the Torah, that they're kept in a saving relationship with Christ by keeping the Torah. But my friends, that's not true. If you're saved by grace through faith, you have to be kept by grace through faith. And they would bring me verses just to convince me and say that there's the Torah keepers. It says right there in John chapter 14 and verse 15, and Revelation 14, these are they that keep the commandments of God. If you love me, keep my commandments. My friends, John was meticulous. Now we're talking about the writings of John. John was meticulous about his writing and how he would describe the law of Moses, and it was always nomos. But when he would describe the teachings and the timeless morality of Christ and the words that came out of Christ's mouth, that was called entole, not nomos. So again, the law of Moses, nomos. The law of Christ, entole, as we can see when he's saying, if you love me, keep my teachings. We know this very clearly from the same chapter, verse 23. He says, these are my words. Look it up for yourself. And again, Revelation 14, these are they that keep the commandments of God. That doesn't have the 10 commandments in view. It has the teachings of Christ. When Christ says in John chapter 13, 34, a new commandment I give you. He's literally saying, as it was transcribed by John in Greek, a new entole, a new teaching I give you. He's not giving them Torah. My friends, this is very, very clear that when John would speak clearly about the law of Moses, he would make it painfully clear that it was nomos. What Christ is telling us, that I give you a new entole, a commandment that is taught by my mouth. What did Christ teach to Lucifer, to Adam, to Eve, to Cain, and still held them accountable? It was his teachings. It was the words that came out of his mouth, not the 10 commandments, because Galatians chapter 3 and verse 17 says they didn't come into place until 430 years after Abraham. So what are we following in this new covenant? We're following the teachings of Christ, the words that came out of his mouth. That's the entole, not the nomos.